Does a meat-based diet lead to more animal deaths than a plant-based one, for example, or a mixed omnivorous diet? Well, I happen to be here with some furry friends, but other than one ape-like descendant and 5 dogs, there's no life here. There's no life in this field. There's no animals in this field. I can't see a single living member of the animal kingdom, right? I'd have to get a spade and try and dig and find a worm. But this is hard-baked clay. Oh, no, there's a spider. I saw a spider. That's it. That's the only living thing I've seen. Now, if we go into the woodlands behind me, there's going to be a lot of animals. There's going to be birds, there's going to be insects, there's going to be all kinds of stuff around there. So, what happened? Where's the life gone? Because there's almost no life here, right? Yes, there are these plants that have been tricked into growing by the application of fertilizer, but bottom line is, this isn't an ecosystem, right? This is not an ecosystem. When you have an ecosystem, you have layers, like ogres. Ogres have layers, like onions. Parfait. Yeah, you have layers. You have soil that's got all kinds of things living in it. Soil is, by the way, mostly made up of dead things, but death equals life. You need to understand that. And then you have plants and you have fungi growing in the soil, and the plants actually work together with the fungi in a symbiotic relationship. And then when you have that, you have animals as well. And you have animals that eat the grain and animals that eat plants, and you have animals that eat animals, and that's just how it all works. That's life. That's how life works. Right? So if you want to maximize the amount of life, what you need is functional ecosystems. Modern agriculture is not that. It doesn't like nature. It doesn't like ecosystems. It abhors those things because they're not profitable and they don't work very well in terms of return on investment. And that's simply the way that it is. So this is the result of plants, of growing grain, in this case, in the case of this field, grain to eat. And it's pretty much had to eradicate every other living thing that isn't, oh, hello, there's a tree, might be a bird in it, you never know, if we're lucky. There is a spaniel in the wheat. Right, they've eradicated everything for profit. And that's it. So, you know, let me tell you something else. If we had, this was all grass, I mean permanent, perennial grasses, then the soil would be flourishing. The soil would be full of life. You'd have rodents, you'd have reptiles, you might have amphibians. Right, there's a little ditch behind me with water in it. You'd have loads and loads of life. You'd have birds eating all that stuff, and everyone's pooping everywhere as fast as they can and building more soil, and that's how it works. The more cycling you have, the more life that you have, the more layers of life that you have, the richer the world is. So in terms of animal deaths, there's no even animals alive here. So let's say we had a herd of 20 cattle on this field and you killed them after 2 years. That's like, 20 deaths per year. Yeah, it's 20 deaths. But this, if there's any animals left in this field, if there's any rabbits or other rodents and stuff hiding away in this field, God help them when the combine comes around as well. They'll have to get out of here sharpish. So, yeah, again, you just have to use common sense with all these things. This is not life. This is not supporting animal life in any shape or form. Whereas on the other hand, having grazing animals on the land, it does. It does create life, right? Yes, we take the life as well at the end of it, but that's how life works, right? For every life, there's always one death, exactly one death. You can't avoid that. So take your pick.